for very sensitive, very interesting, very dynamic, very enthusiastic caption, that is a debate caption. And you'll surprised to know that we are going to have a debate on Union Budget 2023. You may have witnessed earlier that discussions are occurred, discussions are conducted, but we are scheduled for the budget debates. So how you people are going to represent your thoughts and views in that respect? So I would like to say it, and meanwhile I'll participate in the discussion part 2 or debate part 2. I would like to give the first opportunity to the leaders of the group. So let's start with Hassan. Keep on sitting because actually it is a debate part, and you are, Hassan, what is your view regarding the caption?
Good morning, sir.
Would you go for pros and yes or no? Budget is good or not?
So I am for the cons. The budget which has come, it is partially biased.
So it is known as I am against the notion. Budget 2023. So your representative is against the notion that budget is not good for the country or people. Yes, carry on.
Sir, it has been 75 years of independence, and there are many problems in the country. Like first and foremost problem is the unemployment. And what we have seen in the budget, that sir, the Manrega, which is the one of the world's largest employment providing act, it has been given very less allocation in comparison to the previous year. As in the previous year, it was allocated around 75,000 lakh crore for employment in the Manrega, but this time it is around only 55 to 60,000 lakh crore. So
okay, then what I get to know from your friend, that actually he is talking about budget of Amrit Kal. Actually he quoted the word 75 years of independence, and actually indirectly government has used the particular word, that is Amrit Kal, budget of Amrit Kal. So even in Amrit Kal, people are not getting whatsoever the demand of the people earlier. So how could we say that it is a good budget? So it is the crux of the content that he has. Okay, I would like to go with Vicky.
Good evening, sir. I am here for the against part of this caption. So I am partially agree with the notion
No, he is against. You'll have to say you are for the caption.
Yes, sir. I am against his.
Okay, you are okay. That's good.
And there he has consulted that less allocations has been done to the Manrega side. So in this Amrit Kal visions, there is also having the allocations towards the budgets, towards the allocations of the peoples that is going to have the particularly vulnerable tribal group, and there we are spending much to the 3.3% with the infrastructure and investment. So in that part also the allocations has been made for the employment towards the youth empowerment, and that leads to the corporate improvement as well as
it is a very good question that your friend has created. So let us see how you people are going to coin your points. Yes, this side. Yes.
As we are in the Amrit Kal, but we are heading towards the acid rain. In the Act of the Forest Act 1988, which has given a verdict that we should have the 33% of our geographical area covered with forest. Right now we are having only 21%, and by this budget, the allocation of particularly in capital infrastructure, we have raised the budget by 33%, which shows that we are somehow focusing on infrastructure. And what about the afforestation? Definitely by this process, by this very boosting in the process of the building of infrastructure, we are going to defocus ourselves from the afforestation process.
Okay, it is a good concern. Here I would like to just categorize some basic points in the budget, because without it you cannot cover the budget in some limited time period. So that I would like to hear something about such as government schemes. You'll have to say government schemes and one has to criticize. Clear? Then after, the resources, allocation in defense, allocation in economy, infrastructure in infrastructure projects. So one by one I will take the caption and you people will have to speak on that part only. Now for this group, I would like to hear some points regarding budget allocation in defense. As you people are preparing for defense services, so what is your view that whether it is good or not, and whatsoever the challenges India has in the contemporary, whether the allocation is sufficient, good, or you have some different views regarding it? Yes, this side. Yes, please carry on.
Sir, for the defense budget allocations, this time the government has allocated 5,000 crore money to the border road organizations. In that, the border road organization will focus on the infrastructures in the border side area, because our neighboring country like China and Pakistan, they are made their road and railways in their border side, and this time government our border road organization is focusing on the Nela tunnel, which is being made in the Arunachal Pradesh. For that, this will enhance our defense system, and during that war time, it will be very useful and fruitful to supply.
Undoubtedly many a project is being initiated and completed by the government in respect of the budget, in respect of the defense area in the budget. May be possible that you may have some different views. So what is your views? Anybody else? Those who have not spoken yet, put your hands up. Yes.
Good evening, sir. As one of our friends stated that about the defense allocation in the defense sector, but what about the other sector? In the budget 2023, the government has presented likely somehow biased, because we are just focusing on the one sector and forgetting about the other sector like education. We have not allocated.
No. Here we are focusing on, and that is defense only. Okay, let me give one important point in that. As we know that undoubtedly government has initiated very good program for development in defense area, but actually we should not forget one thing. I am just speaking for that group. We should not forget one important thing, that we are comparing ourselves with the smaller country like Pakistan. The budget allocation for India is respectively 8 times better than Pakistan. But how could we forget important thing, that we are even 3 times lower than the bigger challenge for India, that is China. So that it is not sufficient. Government will have to do something more in that. Clear? If defense, then only defense. You can't change it. Anything else in defense? Yes, last.
Good evening, sir. As we see that the government gives 30% more than the earlier budget in defense. As we see that in 26 January, the Egyptian Prime President visited India and willing to buy some of the aircraft. But what we see that the India is now moving toward Make in India and supplies equipment to the other country. And after we see that the India is buying its most of the equipment from the Russia and UK. So that this budget is very useful for India to Make in India.
Okay, India has already initiated Make in India project in COVID period, and actually it is going to take the charm of Make in India project, and many of the developing countries of the world, even they are looking at the project of India, and it is a kind of platinum opportunity for Indian defense budget. Okay, this side, only defense. You have to talk about defense only. Yes.
Sir, it's just like a thing that we can see, but what is the background, we are not known to the facts and figures. This year only 8% of the budget has been allocated to the defense, but we can see that in the previous year around 11 to 12% of the budget was allocated to the defense sector. So this is a symbol that they are just putting defense to aside and just focusing on the other aspect of the budget. So which is also a threat to our country in comparison to China, which is we are having a close contrast with China. So in this time we were expecting for more allocations for the defense, but in this factor the government has failed.
Okay, it is a very good comparison. I think that you may have certain good points in that, because he stated that government has decreased the allocation, it is 8% only, whereas in the volume government has increased it. Clear? Yes, Ravi, what is your view in this?
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
Sir, as my friend has stated that the government has reduced the percentage of the budget, but this time the amount that was granted is approximately 6 lakh crore for the defense sector, and that is used. We can generate more and more resources of money by investing it in the infrastructure development and the other sector as well. So this is the budget.
Okay, it is a very correct comparison. One has stated something else, it is also correct, and another has stated something else, that is also correct, and it is the beauty of the debate. Now we are moving towards the next theory, and that is what many of the political parties, especially opposition, they are criticizing the budget by claiming it is not the budget for India, it is the budget for the respective party for the coming election 2024. So what is the truth? You people have to say that yes, no, it is not for the budget for the election, it is for the country, and one has to say that no, it is for the election only, because actually reality is something else. Now who will speak first?